Ikspiari is Tokyo Disney Resort's version of Disney Springs or Downtown Disney, and it reopened on June 1st. And on the same day, Tokyo Disney Resort also announced that their parks, Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo DisneySea, along with the hotels, are still closed until further notice. Even though the state of emergency has been lifted everywhere in Japan, they still haven't decided when they're going to reopen the parks. Hey fellow explorers, my name is Chris, aka TDR Explorer, and I help you plan the perfect trip to Asia and its theme parks. Even though Ikspiari is now open, they have all these measures in place with social distancing and temperature checks, and not everything is fully open just yet. But I did head there to see how everything works, so I'm going to show you guys exactly what they're doing. Ikspiari wasn't overly busy when it first opened, which is good. They're asking people only from Chiba Prefecture to visit, which definitely brought the crowds down, and also being a Monday morning. People are back at school and also at work. In the queue, it's very well laid out and very clear where you're supposed to stand along the blue there. And there was a lot of cast members telling us where to go. There's signs telling you that if you have a temperature over 37.5 degrees Celsius, you can't come in. Here's a better look at the outdoor queue. I took this afterwards once everyone got inside, of course. While I was waiting to go in, it looked like there was a lot of people, but it looked a lot busier than it actually was. As for the temperature screening, you just walk through this tent and there's a little camera, and that's pretty much it. I didn't see anyone have their temperature too high, so I don't know what they do if they find that. For other entrances, they have the same setup, because there's multiple entrances into Ikspiari, so this one's on the first floor. And then also, there's other entrances that they've blocked off, because Ikspiari is mostly outdoors, so they blocked off a lot of the other entrances, so you have to use the designated ones. There's hand sanitizers everywhere, and I love that they have these little foot pedals for some of them, so then I don't have to touch it, just push on it. There we go. A lot of the restaurants and stores too will have hand sanitizers, and they ask you to do that before you come inside, which is good. Starbucks also has it too. There are signs asking you to wear a mask, to sanitize your hands. If you're not feeling well, let a staff member know. Keeping your distance. The only thing is these signs are only in Japanese. I didn't see any in English. You'll see these barriers between you and staff members in some places, and this is just for everyone's safety. As for the queues, just like the outdoor queues, these are very well marked. And this is here at Cinema Ikspiari. We have Onward coming on August 21st. Yeah. It's already been out in North America for quite a while in other countries. And the ticket booths here, ticket machines I should say, they have the vinyl curtains. More markers for the queues at different restaurants telling you where to sit, where to stand, and the seats are all spaced out. And it's a little hit or miss. Some of the signs are only in Japanese. Some of them have both Japanese and English. At Ikspiari's kitchen, the signage is confusing because it tells you to space yourself out, so that's a little bit strange. And here we just see the sign with just Japanese on it, no English. So again, it's a little inconsistent. And then here we have the benches. There's English and Japanese on it. Keep your distance. It's fairly straightforward. So they just tell people to sit on either side. And then we also have the Starbucks, which has some of the seating is a little bit strange, so they're kind of limiting where you can sit. And if restaurants have mobile menus, they'll ask you to do that, so you can scan the QR code here if you want, or pull up the app. And Starbucks is open. There's 2 locations in Ikspiari, so they're both open now. And Tully's, which is another coffee chain, is closed until it looks like July. Tons of other restaurants at Ikspiari are open. Again, they have the social distancing markers and everything like that. Ikspiari's kitchen again. This is the food court, and most of the restaurants are open. Not all of them are though. The red signs there mean that they're not open. Ippudo, which is a favorite for a lot of people visiting. It's a ramen restaurant that's open. TGI Fridays. I know, it feels like we're not in Japan, does it? Gongcha, that's open. I love Gongcha. One of my favorites, Guzman y Gomez. I think that's how you say it. It's a chain from Australia, oddly enough. But I always have to get myself a spicy chicken burrito. It's really good. And then we have the Outback Steakhouse, Red Lobster, those are open. And there's a Shabu Shabu place that's also open, and it's really good. I really recommend that one. As for the Disney store, it didn't open on the 1st. It actually opened on June 2nd. And they have tons of merchandise. It's kind of business as usual. They have the Sakura merchandise, and they have these little customized Kit Kat tins that you can make. That's kind of cool. Chip and Dale merchandise. This stuff came out a while ago, actually. I think a couple months ago, so people couldn't really buy it. And of course, probably the best thing is the social distancing markers, which are themed to different characters. It is really cute and really clever. There's also Mickey and Goofy, which I didn't take a video of. Whoops. A lot of the shops close at 7, and as for restaurants, some of them will close at 9 and have their last order at 8 o'clock. So that's what the sign there says. As for the crowds, depending on the time of day you go, it's pretty light. Ikspiari usually isn't too busy on a regular day anyway, but since they're asking people who don't live in Chiba Prefecture to not visit yet, the crowds are pretty light for the most part. I do have to point out the Tokyo Disney Resort Ticket Center, which is in Ikspiari, is still closed. Don't know when that's going to open, but I guess it'll be probably once we know when the parks reopen. Like I said at the beginning of this video, both Tokyo Disneyland, Tokyo DisneySea, and also the hotels are closed until further notice. But in the meantime, we do have Ikspiari, so we get some sort of idea how they're going to handle all the new procedures that are going to inevitably happen in the parks when they reopen. On June 1st, Universal Studios Japan announced that they are going to be reopening, starting with a phased reopening on June 8th, and they're restricting it to people that live within the Kansai area because Universal Studios Japan is over in Osaka, which is in the middle of Japan. For more information on everything I talked about, I'll put links in the description so you can go and check that out. We have more pictures and all that, so make sure you go and check it out. Alright, Explorers, I hope you're doing well in your part of the world, and we will talk to you very soon. Alright, Explorers, until next time.